Hey, everybody, check out this clip with me and my good friend Jason DeVore, lead vocalist for Authority Zero, where we talk about One More Minute. And something I didn't know, it was the lyric, Ring Around My Arm. It's a pretty cool explanation. Check it out. I became aware of you guys around this time, because I was living in Tampa back in 2002. Yeah. So this song was on the radio, off the debut record, which is awesome. Since then, you guys around that time started landing things like the Warped Tour, and I was seeing your name out there playing those shows with you. Of course, we got to tour together in Japan in 2007. Absolute blast. One of the best times from what I remember of it.
Dude, yeah, you gave me do you remember you chiropracted me in the back green room area?
Of course.
That was magical. It was
my back's hurting. I just flew for 16 hours. Yeah, me too. Ow.
Let me hook you up.
Well, you guys have released 7 more albums since the debut, the latest being Ali Ali Oxenfree in 2021. And take us back now. Do you remember writing One More Minute? And was it specifically for this record, or had this been in demo form kicking around?
I specifically remember writing this song more than probably any song I've ever written, because of the fact that it is so diverse and away from my wheelhouse of like what I was into at the time. Because basically I was the punk rock kid, the punk skater kid, I guess, in the group. We had Bill, who was more the funk kind of blues guy on the guitar, Jeremy, my bass player, who was more into Megadeth, Metallica, Typo Negative, and then my drummer Jim, who was like into thrash core crust punk and like hip hop. So that was like, Bill thought of this reggae kind of track thing, and I was like, I don't know, dude, that's not it. I'm like, I'm not feeling this. I don't know, what do you want me to do with this thing? It's like, it's not fast. I can't skate to it. And I was like, if I can't skate to it, it's not a good song, kind of thing back in the day. And so I just got creative with it, and we went to Mexico, because we live right across the border down by Rocky Point, and so that's where our first out-of-state touring happened. Was my guitar player, Bill Marks, was fluent in Spanish, going to school and college for it at the time, studied abroad in Spain, and so he's like just really good at Spanish. So he lined up some gigs at the Viña del Mar down in Rocky Point for us, and it was like 2 weeks of playing. We got paid in free rooms, booze, and food, like meals, 3 meals a day. And so, but we had to play 3 times a day too. So we were like the house band playing our own stuff that nobody knew.
But at that age, sign me up, right?
Totally sign me up. Like, we made it. We fucking made it. We're stoked. So we're down there playing these jams and just getting trashed and having a blast. Spring break time stuff. And down there was when that song came to life for me lyrically, because we had such a good time for like 2 weeks straight, basically. And we were supposed to go home that one day. Everyone had gone home from Rocky Point. The place was clearing out, all the tourists and stuff. And we were laying on the beach out by the reef, wrecked at the reef. And we bought a case of beer at Pacifico's, and which is specific to that song.
Yeah.
And we're already pretty lit up, from just hanging out in the morning, the rollover kind of thing. And so we were sipping on Pacifico's that morning, and I'm making sand angels in the sand and all this fun stuff, and just like, it's like, I just want to stay for 1 more minute. It's like, let's just stay for 1 more minute, have 1 more beer, and then we'll cruise back. We'll go back to our shitty jobs and our lives, and like, not this awesome we just experienced, And so right there it kind of clicked, and it was one of those weird, like, okay, that's kind of interesting. So basically that trip, when I was making those angels in the sand, I ended up getting ringworm. Because so there's a magical moment in the song where I'm like, from a long day of making angels in the sand, Pacifico in my hand, and people think it's so glorious. Angels in the sand, ring around my arm from a long day. He probably got sunburned from a beautiful day on the beach. And I just got freaking ringworm from like being a fool and like sloshing around in some dirty ass sand. So, threw some jacket spray on that, and it went away in a couple of days. But that led to a whole storyline of just experience of what we just experienced down there. And it was a combination of like, during that time we started going out to San Diego, which was also just, around the border area. And so it's combined of like the beaches of San Diego, the beaches of Mexico. And it was just the best times of our lives. And it was like the all-encompassing idea of like, I don't want to leave this feeling. I don't want to, go back to this other grind of the 9 to 5. I want to be in this band. I want to be in a band, and this is what I want to do. And just hold on to that for 1 more minute. And then we had to go back to work. And so